What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew, and welcome back to Space Engineers Survival 2025. This is episode number 11, and it's raining. It's dark, and it's raining. In this episode, we're going to be doing some base building and some stuff from the last episode. So, for instance, we started this kind of defense thing. You can see down there we have this platform going all the way to where our little defense platform is. We're going to add a connection all the way over there to connect that up so that it can automatically pull ammo from the base. We're also going to hopefully make some sort of hydrogen ship. I'm kind of thinking of something that looks a little bit like the Seagull, but instead of having these atmospheric thrusters, has hydrogen ones instead. That might be a good idea, and it would look kind of cool to have two versions of the Seagull with different abilities. And then also we need to do something with this ship right here. I'm thinking we're probably going to end up scrapping most of it. We might keep like the base level down here with all the batteries, but scrapping most of this, you know, this windows and stuff, we can use these on the base. And then of course, grabbing the materials in here and using these as well would be a good idea. Look, a lot of platinum. We got some rockets even. We even have some space credits here. So yeah, grabbing all of this stuff and scrapping most of the ship is what we're going to end up doing with this. But first, I think what I want to do is make that connection to the defenses over here. It's going to be rather easy. Well, it's going to require a lot of materials, but it's going to be easy as far as doing it's going to be. We're just going to mine out or grind out this middle section right here, and we're going to add a connection that goes all the way. It's quite far. It's going to go all the way over here to our little weapons section over here, which actually looks quite cool, having that up there. So it's going to go into this mountain, and then it's going to go up right there. And we already have the weapon thing coming down there, so we can add one right here if I have any. I don't think I have any materials on me. Rookie mistake, but we'll come back with materials. So give me 1 second, I'll grab some materials here. All right, I think 100 steel plates will do quite nicely. Let's drop down right here as well and go into this so we can refill our bottles, because they're getting a little bit empty here. So I'd like to go, actually I can throw them in here because we have a generator in there. Perfect. So from there, we'll drop down onto here, which will incur damage. So we need to use our jetpack to slow ourselves down, but we'll start I guess here. It's gonna come up here. Actually, where is our block? Okay, so this is our block that comes all the way down that we've been using. No, is it? No, it's over here. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so this is the one that, let's remove this light armor block. Oh no, it's not that one. No, it's this one right here. Oh, this is already perfectly in line then. Okay, well in that case, let's bring it down even further. So we'll turn this around to face the direction that it's been using so far. We'll come all the way down, and then right here, we'll throw an all-way one. There we go, little conveyor piece, and let's try and build it up before we do anything else. So grab you, right-click you, see if we can build it up with the materials that are on the base. And it looks like we are able to. Very nice. We have lots of materials on the base because I did build up a bunch of stuff. But let's build that up here. Then we'll build up this one right here. It'll be a straight block going this way. Why am I bouncing? That's weird. Okay, so we're gonna go out with this right here. We're gonna remove this pretty much all the way out to where we want to go, and we'll replace it with the conveyor blocks. Let's start with that right there. Ow. Let's start with that right there and see how far that gets us. Okay, so there. Replace it all the way. How far are we? Oh, very close. Okay. I need to make sure that I don't accidentally run into that thing going at speed, because that would be a little too fast. All right, so this is going to require a lot of stuff. Let's go ahead and remove this, and we'll I guess mine our way through this as well. Really use here. Let me grab the armadillo, not the armadillo. Let me grab the what did we call it? Let me grab the weevil. All right, let's see how that does. That might do pretty well. So let's bring this out all the way and see when we start running into the voxel. So far so good, and then right here it looks like we're running into the voxel, so we need to go a little bit further because that's going to come down and meet it right there. So you have a little bit more job to do. Let's turn ourselves around here and get to it. All right, that might be good actually. So if we turn this around, can we bring it all the way down to the block down here? I think we might be able to. The weevil's in the way a little bit, but if we move it back, we should be able to bring this all the way down right there. And then we'll do the connection right here. So we'll do another one of our favorite all-way ones. We don't have the blocks for it, but that's fine. We've gotten most of the way there. Okay, and then with the steel plates we have left, I guess I'll bring this out a little further as well, so that we have that continuous bridge thing going all the way. All right, now we just need to weld up all this stuff, which is going to be a fun, a fun job for sure. So let's bring the Weevil back, and it'd be nice if we made a welding ship. We're probably going to need it pretty soon, but we're not going to make it in this episode. So we're going to try and weld up this stuff by hand, I think. All right, there's our Weevil back where it belongs. Press number 9 and number 8 to connect that right there, and we're back. All right, let's see how this is gonna be welding this stuff up by hand. It might not. We have a little rift in the world there. It might not be that bad. Just thinking about it, we can probably get a couple of these every trip. And what I'll do as well is I'll put a box over here somewhere, like here maybe. Let's do it this way instead. So we're gonna put that there, and then we'll put a junction right here instead, and we'll put a box right here so we can grab stuff from here if we need to. So let's grab this. Let's just grab everything all the way up to the top here. I don't know if we can grab all of them, but we can grab most of them, and we'll bring this all the way down. So we'll grab as much as we can, and let's see what we can do. So this right here, and we should be able to get the box as well. Just missing a couple construction components for some reason. I think maybe we need to build some more construction components on the base. I'll tell the base to build us like 600 construction components, because I know we're gonna need those. You always need more construction components. And let's finish up building like this box, for instance. There we go. Let's build up these, and let's build our way all the way to the top here so that we have our connection down there. And once we have that box there, that's really gonna help us out because we can grab materials directly from that bottom layer that we're working on. Man, it is loud down here once those assemblers get going, isn't it? Okay, let's collect the last few materials for us, and that should get us all the way to the bottom here. And there it is. Okay, so with that, now we don't have to go all the way up there to grab materials. We should be able to grab them directly from here. Now, I lost some, there they are. I was wondering where those were. But yeah, so for instance, I can just go here, and then I have this box right here that I can collect materials from and then weld from there. What I want to do actually, let me go into my, oh, how's this gonna work? Because components don't go around. Okay, here's what I'll do. Let me go and grab some platinum from here, because we have some platinum on this ship that was part of their cargo. So I'm gonna grab some platinum, and I'm gonna bring it onto the base. And what I would like to do is get that refining. So let's scoop in there and throw that in here. So platinum in there, and then I'd like to, actually, here's what I'm gonna do. Let me throw everything back in here. I'm gonna remove these speed modules that we had, because remember we added a yield module right there. I'm gonna remove this speed module. I'm gonna put another yield module. Let's throw another yield module right there so we can build that up. Right click that. Where's our closest container? Here it is. Cannot withdraw 18 superconductors. Do we have the superconductors built? We do not have the superconductors built, so that's a sad day. How are we looking for gold? Oh, we have plenty of gold in here. Well, anyways, we'll eventually get that done right there, but for now, what I want to do is let me grab some platinum, and let's start processing some of that platinum, because what that's going to allow us to do is build up our higher level tools. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in an upper level grinder, a drill, and a welder, and we should be able to build these whenever we have the platinum. And in fact, I'll prioritize the welder, because that's probably the one that we want the most. So yeah, we'll do it like that. So eventually we'll get the platinum for this. It's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take actually a long bit, but we'll have that, you know, working so that eventually we'll come back here and it'll be ready for us. All right, let's get back down here and get our blocks welded. Okay, with our level 2 welder here. All right, episode 11 of the series. I can't believe it's going by so quickly, but we did start releasing 2 videos per week, so that probably makes it go by a little bit quicker. We are eventually going to have to think about what we want to do for the base that's above us that we got from that distress beacon. I think we're probably going to have to build a large ship for that, a large combat ship or something like that. Probably not a big large ship, but just like a large grid ship, I think is going to be something that we're going to need. Because large grid weapons do a lot more damage than small grid weapons, unless you like configure them so that you have like 9 small grid weapons in the space that a large grid would take up. But if we're going to be attacking like a proper base with soldiers and stuff, we're probably going to want some sort of military ship. And so we'll have to do that, of course. But for now, we're just building up our base, getting everything set up. I like this little A-frame thing. It's interesting. You know what? It might be a good idea to, since we're building a hydrogen ship, it might be a good idea to build our hydrogen ship also to be a welding ship, which means unfortunately we couldn't make it look kind of like this. But having a welding ship would be really, really useful. And having a hydrogen ship would be really, really useful. And since welding ships usually have a lot of cargo space, I think we can maybe make that kind of a double thing. So what I'll do first then is let's go here and let's remove this block right here because I want to expand this a little bit. So instead of you being a C, you're going to be a T. Congratulations, you've been upgraded to T status. All right, there's our T right there, and we're gonna kind of mimic what we have over here. So we're gonna go out one more, and then we'll come inward, and this will be another T. And what we're doing is we're making space for more ships because we're gonna want to build another ship here. It'd be good to have some space for it. So let's right-click those, get these guys built up. Our energy is a little bit low. That's okay. We'll address that in just a second. All right, let's grab our energy here real quick. So yeah, we're gonna build 3 more connectors that we can put ships on. All right, there's our power. So let's go, I'm gonna mimic this right here. So this is gonna be another T. And I think we have 1, 2, and 3. And the third one might be, no, the fourth one's gonna be an angle. Okay, something like that right there. And then you're a T, I believe. Turn that around, and then T's right there. And then you'll go a couple more, and then you'll be a turn as well. All right, perfect. Let's get these built up. All right, so with this, we're gonna have another couple of connectors that we can use for ships. So one's gonna be our welding slash hydrogen ship that we're gonna use to grab materials from that upper base over there, wherever that is. And then we're gonna have a, I guess probably having some sort of combat ship would be a good idea at some point. You know, if we wanna take out more ships like the one we took out last episode. And then we have a place for maybe like a grinding ship or something like that. So here's our connector. Let's turn that around so it's facing like that. Same here and same here. And let's get those welded up. So right click, and we'll right click you again. And let's get these welded up. So here's one already for our little space. And if we run out of ships, I guess we could move the Weevil as well, because the Weevil doesn't necessarily need to be up here, considering it usually goes, you know, down below the base. So we could always move that away. We got all components. It's very nice having enough components to just grab all whenever you need to. There we go. And just one more right here. And let's see if our welder has built up by now. I don't know if it has. I don't imagine it has, but we should check just to see. So production, yeah, it hasn't quite yet, but we've got about half the platinum that we need for this. So let's let it keep going. And I do want to check real quick the refinery. Yeah, so okay, we're gonna have plenty of platinum. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it keep going like that. Okay, so we want some sort of welding ship that's also gonna serve as a hydrogen ship that we can use to go up there, because hydrogen is not affected by the lack of oxygen that's up in those mountains. So let's go ahead and start with building something like that. We're gonna build it right over here, I think. That's not a bad idea. So let's go ahead and grab some materials that we can use to build things. So I'm gonna want some steel plates, some interior plates, and some construction components to work with. So we'll start with 100 steel plates. We'll start with 100 of the interior plates, and we'll grab a couple of those as well. And what I'll do is why are you in the ingots container? That's weird. You shouldn't be in the ingots container. Oh, you know what? I know why they're in the ingots container, because they're not getting pulled out by some sort of, usually we have a components container as well, and we don't have a components container in this series quite yet. So if we want to solve that, we could build a components container, and we could build it like directly under the ingots container. That wouldn't be the worst idea. Whatever. For now, it's gonna be fine. Let's not worry about it. We'll have to do that in the future though, because otherwise I'm falling down the thing. Otherwise, it's gonna be a pain in the buttocks. Okay, let's start with this thing. So let's get our landing gear started right here, and we're gonna do what we did before as well. We're gonna put a connector directly over this thing right here. We're gonna start with the connector because usually it's like one of the last things that I do, and I forget about it. And it's not good to forget about your connector. It's an important piece of the puzzle. Okay, so let's get our connector put in right there, directly above that, so if it were to fall, it would get connected. And we'll start by building that guy up. All right, from our connector, now what we're gonna need on a hydrogen ship, well, let's not worry about the hydrogen bit quite yet. Let's worry about the storage, because this is gonna be mainly a big storage ship. And we could, if we wanted to, kind of mimic this. This isn't bad, because this does storage very, very well. It's got the 4 large storage things. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to do something like that. So what we could do This sort of brings out... So the thing about storage ships, if we're building a welding ship, we're definitely going to need something like this, okay? And then we're going to need something like this right here, and this right here, and then we'd have our welders on the front like that. So weld, we would throw them kind of like that. So we'd have our welder right there, and we'd probably put a cockpit like right there in the middle. And then we do our storage as well based on that. So if I were to look at my storage things, let's see what we have for this. So I do like these, and we could do something similar to what we did for the other ship, which would be this and this. And then if we wanted to make it long, we could do that and that. And that would kind of end up looking a little bit like the armadillo there. Or we could make it short and just be like that, which would, I don't know. I mean, it's not a bad idea for sure. And then I could do something like batteries on the top like this. We do have a battery right there, battery right there. Let me build this up so I know what we're working with, because that will show us the connections that we have for that guy. I think it's okay, it's a big connection up top. So if it's a big connection up top, what I could do is throw an O2H2 generator up there. So O2H2. Having an O2H2 generator on a hydrogen ship is always a good idea. So O2H2 up there. And I do kind of like this. I mean, heck, we could do, you have a big connection right there. We could do something like that and have big connections right there as well. And that wouldn't be a bad idea. That would actually look kind of cool. Let me bring this kind of under you so you have a little connection bit. You know what? I think we are going to do it like this. I like this idea. So we're going to go right there. We're going to have another modular cargo container. So it's going to end up looking like a very, very thick ship right here. But we're going to be able to work with this. So our hydrogen thrusters are either going to be on the back or on the sides here. So definitely right here, we could throw some hydrogen thrust for the side thing. And we could throw some down here as well if we wanted to. I really like my flush cockpit for this. So we're going to throw our flush cockpit right there. So what I might do then is I might actually try and mimic the seagull a little bit and do some wings. Because if I do wings, I could put some thrusters down like on the outside. Let's build up these modular cargo containers first so we, again, can see what we're working with here.
Energy low.
We'll get all these modulars built up. We need to refill our energy as well. We're running a little bit low at this point. Let's do that real quick. All right, so this is the ship that we have thus far without the batteries welded up, because I'm not 100% sure if we're going to keep them there. We could throw more O2H2 generators up there if we wanted to. I'm probably going to end up throwing a bunch of hydrogen tanks up top. So let me see what that would look like if I went for my tank. So the thing with hydrogen tanks, we could throw a big hydrogen tank on the back here if we wanted to. And in fact, that might not be a bad idea because, well, it might not be a bad idea. Or if we didn't want to do that, we could go and throw a bunch of small hydrogen tanks on the top side right here. So we'd go probably like that. I don't know, we would do something on the top, but maybe I don't mind this. I mean, I think having a big hydrogen tank is a good asset. I mean, we could if we wanted to as well. Let's see, this doesn't go on the, yeah, we could if we wanted to do a hydrogen tank right there and a hydrogen tank right there, right here. And then we'd have two, making this a very, very hydrogen-able ship. And that's not a bad idea. The only problem is then we have to worry, we can't really get in small spaces. Maybe that's not a problem though. Do we really care about getting in small spaces? I don't know, maybe we do that. Maybe we do like the double hydrogen tank on the outside. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do the double hydrogen tank. We've always had, whenever it comes to hydrogen ships, we've always had trouble with how much hydrogen these things can store. So we're just gonna do the double hydrogen tanks so that we don't have that problem. Let's throw some large steel tubes in production here. Oh, are we running, have we run out of iron? Oh, we have run out of iron, it looks like. No, we have not run out of iron, so why are you stalled? It's not stalled, okay, that's the answer. It only looked to be stalled. All right, double hydrogen tanks on the back. This is gonna be a very, very hydrogen-enabled ship. Since we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and lean into the ship being large and put some of these here. So we'll do one right there, and we'll do one on the other side as well. And we'll work around this. We'll make it look pretty good. Heck, why not? But put one right there too. We'll just have a lot of connections that you can connect to. Actually, I don't need this many connections. Let's put O2H2s here instead. All right, there we go. We have O2H2 generators. This is gearing up to be a very large ship, but it's okay. That's just how it goes sometimes. If it's gearing up to be a large ship, what I could do is just throw another one of these here. Yeah, let's do that instead. I think that looks better. So we'll throw another one of these here. We'll still do our O2H2 generators, but we'll face them that way. And we're gonna move our those things out one block. So what that's gonna allow us to do is throw another set of welders, one right there and one right here, to make this an even larger welding ship. So we'll have 4 welders, meaning we can weld like an entire line of things if we want to. So it's gonna be quite a large welding ship, but I think that's okay. So this, instead of being there, will be out here. Okay, I think we've got everything that we need in term. Look at this profile of this ship. This is a large ship. I think we have everything we need right now in terms of all this stuff. We need to start worrying about our thrusters. So let's get everything welded up here, and then let's start getting our thrusters placed. And we're gonna need a lot of downward thrust for this ship because it's gonna carry a lot of stuff. The more you carry, the more downward thrust you need. All right, so we're gonna start thinking about hydrogen thrust, and we could do. I do like these larger industrial ones. The only problem with these is that they're a little taller. So I could, for instance, throw one right there, but you see it takes up more space on the bottom, which I don't necessarily like. So we could go with the vanilla ones, which are a little shorter, and they do something like that. So that's not bad, putting a thruster right there. I think that's a good idea, actually. The only problem is it might damage the floor a little bit, but you know, what can you do? And what I might do then as well is I might double that up so we have 2 on either side instead of just the 1. Let's try and make some metal grids. I think we can now. Oh, hey, our welder might be done. Welder, yes. Oops, I put it in a random connector. There we go. Okay, it is complete. Very nice. So let's go ahead and throw our proficient welder back in here. Let's press G, go into our character tools, and take down our new elite welder, which welds a lot faster. We'll grab everything we can, and look at that. Look at that sheer speed of that welder right there. Nice. Okay, so we've got some hydrogen thrusters built up. Let's right-click these 2 and get these built up as well. Gonna take a couple trips because they have a lot of metal grids and large steel tubes and stuff like that. Clearly we need more metal grids, so let me make a couple hundred. All right, here we go. There's one and there's the other. Man, this welder is way faster than the other one. But okay, this is looking good. And I need some thrust facing backwards. So how high can we go? I don't want to go any higher than this block right here. So we still have 3 blocks to play with, meaning we could, if we wanted to, you know, put some facing up like that. That would allow us to go upside down, basically, if we wanted to. I would rather do something like that. And we definitely are going to need some stop thrusters also. But I might just do, like, smaller stop thrusters. All right, a couple small thrusters on the front right there. I think that's going to be good. So we got 5 on that side, 5 on that side, 3 and 3. So that's a total of 16. We could add more if we want to. We could add some right there, possibly. But for now, I think that's going to be a good amount of thrusters facing forward right there. I'm just going to add some normal blocks right here. Kind of fill in that gap. Oh, the base is running out of power. You can see that it's the lights are starting to flicker. That's what they do when they start running out of power. Steel plates cannot withdraw. Oh, it's probably because we're out of power. Oh, because those are going slow. That's why. You guys have been telling me that I need a battery on the base, and I think you're probably right. Well, the base is currently stalled from that thing, so I guess might as well run over to this thing and start grinding down a couple of these blocks for some steel plates. Probably the easiest way we can get steel plates right now. And so we're gonna grind down everything except for these batteries. These batteries are gonna stay, and we'll probably keep a little bit of the base of the ship as well, so that we can turn this into whatever we want in the future, if we so decide. Grab a couple of these. We'll run these back to the base. Maybe we can even weld up some of these while we're at it. And we're able to get a couple of them. You know what I could do for the time being is just turn this off recharge. And that should get the base going again. It might drain the battery pretty quickly, but it should get the base going again enough for me to actually get some dang hydrogen. There we go. Okay, now we're back in business. I've just got to remember that I've done that, otherwise that's going to have 0 charge by the time I come back. But it has a lot of batteries on it, so it should last for a little while. Anyway, let's continue building this thing, and it's almost there. I just need to find some thruster points to put for the sides. All right, our things are finally back spinning to, I think, full blast maybe. What are you doing? 408, yeah, okay. So I can now turn this off of off of charge mode. So here we go. Put it back on recharge. There we go. Okay, so I've made a little bit of area for these, so we can put some thrusters on the sides. I need some steel plates, of course, to do so. Let me grab that. And we're gonna need definitely some more steel plates, so I'll get some built right there. So we'll get these placed, and those will be our side thrusters, and then we can do... let's do some gyros, because we're definitely gonna need those. So I'll throw one gyro right there. We'll throw one right here, and then maybe having another one wouldn't be a bad idea right there. The 3 gyros. So, and then the easiest solution for our final thrusters would be something like this, which wouldn't be a bad idea, I guess. It would just give us a lot of thrust in the forward direction. And each one of those, I think, corresponds to 9 of these, or is it 8 or something like that? But I don't know. I think that's probably fine. And then, you know what? Heck, why not? Let's do 2. So we'll do 1 right there, and we'll do 1 right there, just so that if we ever need to go in space, we have those thrusters that'll help us out. That'll let us do that. And then back here, we'll do something. I don't know exactly what. We'll figure something out. What I could have done, I suppose, is do something like this. I could have put the thrusters up there instead. That's not a bad idea. That gives me a little bit more space. And then I'd do something here instead. You know what? Yeah, let's do it like this. Let's put the thruster right there instead. So then maybe these are a little bit more secure. We can find a way to actually like hide them a little bit better. There we go. I'm throwing a couple beams in here to act as sort of like guards for this for these hydrogen tanks, because they are very explosive if they run into stuff. I would rather not have my hydrogen tanks explode on me. Okay, this is at least the thrusters done. So there's that one, and there is that block right there. So I think that's everything on the back done. That looks a little weird, but whatever. We need to get our batteries done, because I kind of like where they are right now. We're not gonna move them, I don't think. All right, there's our batteries. Okay, we need to get our gyros. Let's get those. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, gyros don't actually take that much. I thought they took a lot more, but here we go. Maybe it's the large gyros that take a lot. Okay, so we have gyros. We've got our power. We've got our cockpit. We've got thrusters in front, back, left, right, up and down. We do need to get them welded, so let me grab one of those. Well, let's grab all of them. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's start with those. If we can weld those guys up. All right, we got the thrusters welded up as well. We just need to get, let's get these 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we should need, no, we actually got those front ones already. Perfect. Okay, so it should be just these 5, and then we might have everything welded on the ship, unless I'm forgetting something. We'll need to do a little bit of armoring, but the ship functionality is here. So we have our thrusters all in, we have our gyros, we have our batteries, we have our cockpit. Yeah, so the functional part of the ship is done. All we need now is armoring and things to make it look a little bit nicer. Okay, there's a little bit of armoring on the top right there. I think makes this look a little bit better. All right, there's a little bit more of the armoring. I have to get into a cockpit or something because my energy is critical. I prefer cockpit because I don't have to click the button. We'll just sit here. I don't know if it goes any faster though. All right, everybody, as the sun comes up, I would like you to behold the welding / transport ship. This thing is a beast. It's got the 4 welders on the front, allowing it to do a lot of welding. It's got some spotlights allowing you to see where you need to go. It's a hydrogen ship. It's got connectors on the front, not on the front, on the bottom, on the sides, and that's it. It's got hydrogen thrusters going everywhere. It's got a little rotating light over there, 3 gyros, 3 large, not large, but like modular cargo containers, as well as 2 large hydrogen tanks. This thing is a beast. This thing is, I'm actually pretty proud of this thing. It's not gonna be able to fly, unfortunately, so when we release it from here, it's actually gonna fall, which I'm fine with as long as I'm not underneath it. Let me just, boop, let it fall there. We're gonna let it fall here as well. There we go, and that should allow it to get in the connection. Oh man. Oh gosh, okay, we're good. That was a little scary for a second, but yeah, this should allow us to connect here. Yeah, perfect, I think it's connected. Yeah, okay, so let me know what you guys think we should name this thing, and we'll name it next episode. I think you're gonna have trouble finding an animal name for this thing, unless you think of like the bear or the I don't know, what does that look like? It's an interesting profile, I've got to say. But we're gonna want to add some sort of connection timer or event controller onto this thing for sure, because I don't want to have to go and set all of our thrusters to be off and our tanks to be refillable and stuff like that. But let me real quick go and name all of our stuff, because we haven't named anything quite yet. So for now, I'm going to call it Welder. And next episode, you guys can let me know what we should name this thing, and we'll name it. All right, so we are going to toss an event controller on this thing, and this is the first event controller that we've used in this series. So I'll go over a little bit how it works while we're doing this. So an event controller in Space Engineers, basically, if I can get up here, it allows you to set things to happen whenever an event happens. So in this case, what I want to happen is whenever we connect to the base, I want the thrusters to turn off. I want the O2H2 generators to turn off, I guess. I want these tanks to turn on to recharge mode. I would like our lights to turn off, stuff like that. All the stuff that I usually do, you know, whenever I get into a ship, I usually press like 7, 8, 9 to do all these actions. We can have the event controller do these for us. So if I go over to here, grab my event controller, what I can do is, let me rename it real quick to Welder. There we go, Welder event controller. I'm gonna set the event to be connector lock unlock. And I'm gonna set the connectors that this listens for to these three right here. So we'll add the blocks right there. So whenever any of these connectors are connected or unconnected, it's going to perform an action. So what I'm going to do real quick as well is let me add some timer blocks. I just need 2, 1, 2. And we're going to do, you don't necessarily need to have these timer blocks, but since I want to do a couple of different actions, I'm going to throw down timer blocks so that it's a little easier. So we're going to rename these to one being welder time connected, and the other one is going to be welder time disconnected. Perfect. And we're going to set these up. So whenever we're connected, what I want to happen is I would like my let's go to welder first. Oh, I need to make some groups here. Hang on. Real quick. There's a lot of stuff we have to do. There we go. We'll have a welder batteries group. We'll have a welder thrusters group. We'll have a welder lights group. We'll have a welder hydrogen tanks group. I don't think I need anything else, just the hydrogen tanks, the batteries, stuff like that. So let's go back to our timer. So whenever we get connected to the base, I would like the welder batteries to go onto recharge mode. So we'll do recharge on. I would like the welder hydrogen tanks to go onto stockpile on. I would like our welder lights to turn off. I would like our welder thrusters to turn off as well. There we go. So that's all going to happen once we get connected to the base. Once we get disconnected from the base, it's going to be pretty much the opposite. So our batteries are going to go on to auto mode, so enable auto. Our hydrogen tanks are going to go on to stockpile off. Our lights are going to turn on, and our thrusters are going to turn on as well. So that's all going to happen once we've connected and disconnected. Currently, these are just timer blocks, though. We need to actually connect them to our event controller. So let's run over to our event controller here. And now that we have this listening for whenever a connector lock unlock happens for these 3 connectors, I'm going to go into select actions. And I believe the timer for whenever they connect, it's going to be this left side one. So we're going to do a trigger now for our connected. And then the right side ones are disconnected. So trigger now for that. So that's kind of the wiring for this. And let's see if this actually works. So we only have 1% hydrogen, so this is going to be a little weird, but let me bring my connectors down to here. Okay, so number 7 is locked. So let's disconnect real quick and then connect again. Yeah, okay, perfect. So it's worked. You see our thrusters have turned off. You see in the bottom right, our hydrogen's increasing because we're stealing hydrogen from the base. You'll see our lights have turned off, everything right there. Now, if I press number 7 again, you'll see all of our thrusters turn on and everything like that, and we can now fly around. So there we go. We've got it set up. This is something you guys have been recommending in the comments for a couple episodes now to do with these ships, which I'll eventually get around to doing them. But at least for this new ship here, we're going to we're gonna do it like that. We do have 100% hydrogen, which is good. Let me go ahead and this is called, I think, just Welder. For now, I'm going to call it Welder 2025, and I'm going to blueprint it. But next episode, I will of course name it and then blueprint it again. So we're blueprinting it just in case it dies for some reason. We can actually build it again. All right. So our first order of business is we would like to weld up all that stuff down there, and that's going to be a little tricky. But what I can do is let's run down here. I'm going to right click on one of these guys. We'll fly back up to our welding ship here. And let's press K, go to our welder cargoes. And what I'm going to do is I want to say control that one right there. So that should, is that not doing it? Do I not have anything in my build planner? No, I do have it on my build planner. So why is that not working? All right, I think this is enough stuff for now. We've got plenty of steel plates, plenty of small steel tubes, motors, stuff like that we can bring along. So let's go ahead and press number 7 to disconnect. We've got plenty of hydrogen on us. Our our gyros are working very, very nicely. So let's go over here and start welding up some of this stuff. So we should be able to get this entire line in one go. But unfortunately, the ship is very large, so I won't be able to get into there, for instance. But we'll turn around and weld up all this stuff, heading back to the toward the base. All right, this is going to make life a whole lot easier, being able to just weld this stuff like this instead of going, you know, back and forth. Having a welder is very, very good when you don't have, you know, max inventory size from the get-go. So let's keep going along this line and get this stuff all welded up. This is going to be nice. We're going to have a nice welded up bridge by the end of this. We've still got 93% hydrogen, so honestly, not bad. Oh, we've run out of steel plates, I believe, so let's head on back to base. What's really nice about this ship is it actually has enough thrust, I believe, to keep us, you know, afloat like this. Yeah, we can do a full barrel roll. We're not falling or anything. We've got the thrusters to do it. Not bad. I like that. That's really good. And this could take us to space if we wanted to. This is a space-able ship with these hydrogen thrusters. So let's go ahead and land back here. We're going to need to build up a bunch more steel plates to get this stuff welded up. Actually, you know what? We have 89%. Let's head over to where we left all that stuff. Hopefully the Ward of Lothian doesn't mess us up. And let's get that stuff. Let me real quick go over here, go to my thrusters, and get my should be my backward thrusters. All right, I have those toggleable now, so I can turn off my backward thrusters, meaning I can basically let us just kind of coast like we did for that other ship. All right, let's head over this way. And heck, I might as well go into our GPS because I think we did mark it as a destroyed base deconstruct or something like that. So let's see if that brings us there. Yeah, okay, so it's this way. It's a good thing I marked it, otherwise I would have gone the wrong way. All right, let's head over there. We're gonna collect everything from that base, and we should be able to carry it back on this ship because this ship is very, very powerful with these hydrogen thrusters. We don't care about a lack of oxygen lowering the efficiency of our thrusters because these guys have 100% efficiency everywhere. Our Ward of Lothian, please don't mess us up. We're a friendly welding ship just flying by. Okay, I'll press number 5 to slow us down a little bit. It's another nice thing about these hydrogen thrusters. They're so powerful that they can slow down very quickly. So look, I'm already below 100. I was just 200 a second ago. All right, let's get ourselves over here. We only used about 10% of our hydrogen on the flight over here, so that's not bad at all. All right, let's fly into our little deconstruct area. Now, if we wanted to be super efficient, what we could do is we could put some grinders on the front of this thing and just use it as a grinding ship. But I think I'm just gonna go do it by hand, because it's not gonna be that bad. What we're gonna do here first is let's connect to the base itself. And then if we wanted to, we could even, here, let's go ahead and connect. Hit number 9, and we're now connected to the base. So if we wanted to, we could even connect this to that, because this, I believe, has, let me go ahead and hack it. I believe it has ice in it. Yeah, it does. So let's remove this, and let's see if we can build up a little connector to connect that. So the cheapest connector we could use would be these ones. Oh, we need interior plates. Luckily, this has interior plates for us. So that right there would be the cheapest way that we could build this. So let's right-click on both of these, and then let's build them up. All right, so that's going to now give us ice. And let's start removing some of this stuff here. This is all going to be heavy armor, so it's going to take a couple trips, but it's going to be worth it. Okay, our welders are empty. I think it's actually going to be worth it to turn these into grinders, just temporarily. Because it's going to take me a long time to get these. Since this is all heavy armor, it's going to be really tough to do that. So, grinder, and we'll switch it back to a welder after this. Just going to put these two into grinders. There's the one, and the other one's going to require motors, which I believe we can get from one of those. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and disconnect from this thing. Switch to our grinders, and let's get this thing ground down. All right. Yeah, the grinders are going to speed this up a lot. We won't have to actually, like, do multiple trips back and forth to get this thing ground down. I'm a little surprised we still only have 71% hydrogen, so it looks like that O2H2 generator didn't actually give us any hydrogen. Maybe it's because our battery was on recharge. And so the base didn't have any battery power. But the base should have a battery. I don't know. It's very weird. Man, I'm taking everything. It's all gonna be mine. Oh shoot, I didn't want that to fall. I did not want that to fall. That's got a bunch of materials that I'm gonna have to now manually move. Unless, you know what I could do actually, is make another connector right here. There we go. Okay, so that should allow me to grab the stuff out of there because I didn't want to move all that stuff by hand. That would be a pain. So let's see if we can connect to that. And if we're able to do that, yep, there we go. The problem is, okay, we don't have power. We don't have power. Hang on. So what we need to do is we need to go into here. We need to go to our batteries and we need to say auto. And then we need to go to our timer connected and we need to trigger now. No, wait, that's the wrong one. Okay, batteries auto, timer disconnected, trigger now. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, new way to do this. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna first go ahead and do connect. Then I'm gonna turn on my battery again. Then I'm gonna trigger the disconnect thing. Okay, now I should be good. So if I try to go this way. Okay, well, you know what? It's fine. Here, all I wanna do is go into K, go into inventory, go to my cargo, welder cargo, and then go into the, we'll hide empty for everything, and then just move everything from the connector over to my welder cargo. Let's add it to this cargo instead. There we go, perfect. Okay, so now we can go ahead and disconnect, number 7. There we go. And we should be good to fly away. Okay, oh man, that was risky. So the problem with that is that my timer thing, the event controller only works when I disconnect if the base has power, because if it doesn't have power, then my ship's on recharge, so there's no power on the base at all, which means when we disconnect, the event controller also doesn't have power. So that becomes a problem. But it's fine as long as I recognize that that's gonna be an issue. All right, let's go ahead and remove this stuff. Actually, I don't know why I'm removing it by hand. It's snowing! Yay! It's nice. Okay, let's go ahead and remove all this stuff. Let's continue our deconstruction. All right, I'll tell you what, these grinders are pretty slow, and there's not a lot I can do about this because I think it's using the grinder, like the global grinder speed. So yeah, there's not a lot I can do about this because I don't think there's an upgradable welder or grinder in the game. So I think it's just gonna be the case that grinders are slow in this series. But that's okay. What can you really do? We'll grab that. That's a bunch of ice that we can use. All right, and with that is, well, there's actually just one more block there that I can grab, it looks like. But that will be the end of this base. Can I? Yeah, I can grab that, okay. I think the base does extend underground a little bit, but I'm not gonna go underground to try and grab every last bit. I don't know where that is. Okay, that's fine. I'll probably have to do a trash collection thing at some point and remove all these grids that are like kind of partially underground. Or maybe it fell and is going to the center of the earth and will get removed automatically. I don't know. But anyway, let's start heading back home. It's gonna be, we'll see if we can make it. We should be able to, but we're a little bit low on hydrogen here. So let's turn off our front thrusters and let's start heading back. And hopefully we make it there without a problem. We are quite heavy of a ship. So that's kind of working against us a little bit. But it shouldn't be too big of an issue because we're going downhill, so we don't have to do too much to keep ourselves flying. We're just gonna aim ourselves in this direction, and we're gonna go this way. And then once at the final moment when we need to, we'll just slow ourselves down and not hit that mountain. Oh man, look at that shadow right there. I think that's that up there. That's a crazy looking thing. All right, let's start slowing ourselves down. We don't want to be going too quick. Turn off the dampeners for a second. Turn them back on here. And what I'll do as well, actually, let me go into my GPS and remove this, remove that altogether, so we don't need it anymore. All right, 30% hydrogen. Yeah, we've got plenty of hydrogen. We'll be fine. Oh, I turned off my I didn't mean to do that. All right, welcome home, everybody. We made it back in one piece, and we shouldn't have any problems slowing down here. I was a little worried for a second. We're still going like 50, but no, we should be good with these hydrogen thrusters. These things are powerful. All right, let's go ahead and land ourselves. We only have 23% hydrogen, so we did cut it a little bit close. Not close enough to worry too much or warrant a pit stop, but close enough to maybe maybe not want to do anything without recharging here. So let's go ahead and connect that. That's going to turn off all of our stuff, and it should, well, it's not going to pull any of our items yet because we don't have any connector that is for components only, which would be a good idea to set up. What would it involve setting up something like that? I think what we would need to do, we need to set up the container. We need to set up a something to pull all the items as well. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to set up. Here, let's set it up real quick so that we have it in the future. So what I want is a large industrial cargo container. So we'll go, I guess, down here where we have some stuff. I will put that directly under this cargo container because we kind of have a stacked cargo container setup going. So I'll right-click that. I have 2 of them here. Let me just grab the one. We'll grab some components there. Build that up, and then we'll grab a couple more components again. Oh, looks like we're gonna need one more trip here. Grab a couple more, and we should have our container set up. So that's part 1. Part 2 is gonna be setting it up so that these go into it. So I don't think I have steel plates on me. So let me real quick go grab some. All right, so now with a couple of steel plates, what I'm gonna do first is let's remove this altogether, and we're gonna replace that with a 3-way one. So a T, yep. There we go. Then we're gonna go straight down, turn that around, straight down, and we're gonna go in right here. So we'll have a curved one right there. So instead of this being a normal one, we're actually gonna back that up here real quick, and we're gonna do a sorter block right here. Conveyor sorter, aiming down right there. Perfect. All right, let's get these guys welded up and put in. So right click all these and we'll build them up. All right, and there it is. So what we're gonna do from here is we're gonna pull every single, so we're gonna whitelist components. So let's whitelist components and let's drain all. And that should get all of our components into this system right here. And it's only going to drain components that are up in there. So let's see, is it still? Yeah, it's pulling all the components, but it shouldn't pull them from the base. It should only pull components that were in the assembler setup. So it's going to pull them all into there. And then what I'm finally going to do is I'm going to bring them up into here. And we're going to blacklist ingots again. Actually, let's set it up like this. Let's make this a little bit easier. Instead of having this like that, let's do a conveyor like that, and we're going to connect it right here with just straight ones. So that makes it so that we don't need this anymore. We don't need basically any of this. We can replace this right here. We don't need that right there, so we can replace that one. So all of this stuff can go right here. So that's essentially going to allow, this right here is going to be pulling ingots only. So ingots are going to flow into there. They're going to go into the container right there, and then they're going to go into those. So once this makes components, those are going to be pulled directly into here, which is going to store all of our components for us. Okay, which means we don't need this right here, and we don't need this right here, certainly. And we don't need this to be a 3-way one. We can have this be just a straight one. Okay, now that we have that set up a little bit cleaner, what we can do is pull this. I think I might pull it down to here. Let's build this up a little bit so I don't break any connections that I don't want to break. We're gonna remove this, and we're gonna just send this down. All right, now finally, so we've brought this down right here. So it's pulling all the components into this cargo container, but then it's also gonna pull them down here. So what I think I might do then as well, I want components to be able to freely flow into here. Maybe I won't do anything quite yet. But let's get all this stuff welded up. Okay, so now components are being pulled directly into there, which is good. That's what we want. I could eventually set up something like I had in last series where we had a button that could basically make it pull things like back into here if we want to. But for now, I think this is gonna be fine. We should have everything getting pulled into this one from the assemblers. Okay, I think we might be able to actually finish this up by hand, just because we don't have very many that we need remaining. So we can bring this all the way over here. So that brings us all the way over to here. And what I might do over here then is let me do something real quick. So let's do this. Yeah, let's break this and this. And I'm gonna put a little cargo container right there. There we go, something like that. So let's get these welded up. And once I get those welded up, I should be able to just pull ingredients from there, which is going to make life a whole lot easier when we're building in that area. All right, all components successfully withdrawn, so we should be able to just build this up. There's our C connector, and here is our small cargo container. Okay, so we can now pull ingredients from here. which is going to make life a whole lot easier. So I can just go right click, right click, right click, right click, and then grab all that stuff just right there from the comfort of that cargo container without having to fly all the way back to the base. Okay, we're almost there. Running a little bit low on power, but we're basically there. We just need to go up a little bit higher, and then one more up there. All right, all components successfully withdrawn. So with this, we should now have a connection all the way from our base over there to our little weapon right here, our first weapon of the series. So I think that's pretty good. That's a good setup right there. Now it only seems like we did a little bit in this series because the only base work we really ended up doing was this long straight line, as well as the components container that we built over there. But we built the entire ship that is able to weld things up for us. It's probably going to be our welder for the foreseeable future, and it's able to cargo things around in this area, especially in areas where the oxygen is a little bit low and where our normal atmospheric thrusters struggle a little bit. So I think this was a pretty productive episode all in all. But anyways, I think that's where we're going to end this episode. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and hit the like button. Let me know what you want to see in the future episodes in the comment section below, especially like what you want the name to be of that ship over there. Here, I'll give you one final look of it. This ship right here, this monstrosity, currently called the Welder. Let me know which name you think we should give it, and we'll give it the name in the next episode, and it'll be our welder for the foreseeable future. Currently, it's a welder grinder, but we're going to turn those back into welders pretty soon. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, feel free to do so with the subscribe button down below. If you'd like to join the YouTube channel as a member or the Patreon, there's a link in the description to each of those. You can get your name in the end credits, and for some of the higher tiers, you might get a shout out at the end of the video. So for our upper tier shout outs in the end of this video here, we're going to shout out Isbin Morales, Stellaris Ignis, and Tyler Hedstrom. Thank you for your support, and thank you everybody for your support on these videos. And with that, I will see you all in the next episode of Space Engineers Survival 2025.